What's up, everybody? It's Fireplace Friday. A little late on Fireplace Friday, but that's kind of been the jive. I had a customer come in this morning that was looking for a direct vent gas insert. Not going to make this too long. I'm going to just pop in, pop out. Basically, just wanted to go over kind of what's been happening. We've had the coldest last about 2 weeks on record, and the whole United States is seeing this. I've got a sister that lives down in Houston, and they've been without power, and things are freezing. It's just crazy. I've got friends in Dallas, Texas. All right, and they've got stuff that's freezing. In Oklahoma, wind turbines are freezing. It's crazy. So I popped along a little article, and it was a pretty good article. And I just want to make sure, to go over things like this and kind of clarify things when you run into articles. But it was about cold air coming down fireplaces or coming from your fireplace. And I just wrote a brand new system for our company on how to address these things and all of these little points. I'm going to hit on a few points from that article. So one, what can you do about cold air coming in your fireplace or coming down your flue or whatever? Well, number one would be, let's close the damper. So there's a throat damper. There's a different type of control up there. You want to make sure it's closed. Of course, you want to make sure you reopen it when you go to use it. Now, if you have a set of gas logs and it has a little pilot light, you don't want to close that damper. You want to make sure you leave it open a little, the minimum amount, so you don't get carbon dioxide. So maybe if we're not using it, we want to close it. We need to make sure we shut the pilot off to make sure that we don't get carbon monoxide in the house or soot or anything like that. So closing the damper. They had an idea of putting a blanket over the front of the fireplace opening, like a heavier blanket. Same rule, close the damper. And make sure the pilot's off and everything, because obviously we don't want the blanket to pull in and catch the house on fire or whatever. So let's make sure we're doing it safely if you opt to go this way. I had a customer ask me the other day, hey, can I get some one of my blankets and put some magnets on it and stick it to the front of it? Absolutely. I don't see why not. Just make sure there's no fire going in that fireplace. Even the little pilot can be dangerous. Make sure we start with the damper. Now, the other thing about dampers is if you still feel cold air at that throat damper, we can put a damper at the top of the chimney that seals it off like a mason jar. It's called a top sealing damper. It's got a cord that goes all the way down the flue and then a mechanism inside the firebox that opens and closes it from the bottom. If you're not sure what that is, go to our website. We've got all that information on the website. So another idea. How about a set of doors for your fireplace? Some people like doors, some people don't. I'm not a fan of fireplace doors. They have their place, but I like big open fireplace and then put a freestanding screen in front. But if you want to have a set of fireplace doors, or maybe you're the type that has a wood-burning fire and you like to feel better by closing those doors towards the end, like, hey, I'm going to bed, I'm going to close these doors so I don't get anything popping out even though we've got a screen up. We want to make sure it just makes me feel better. Well, then doors would be a good idea for you too. This time of year when it gets really cold, hopefully you have power. If you don't, then this might not apply. But if it's extremely cold outside, keep in mind if you have just an open fireplace, the flue on those open fireplaces, the passageway that goes up to the top, is relatively large to vent the opening of that fireplace. You gotta, what goes in must come out. If it's too small, it's going to spill. Kind of like if you took a glass and then dropped another glass inside of it, the water comes out the top, and obviously that space has been taken up. So if you have an open fireplace, a lot of times when you use that open fireplace, you get that draft going. It's drawing more air out of the house than your furnace can temper. So people will go, well, every time I use this fireplace, it's cold. It gets cold in the house. Well, it's probably because you're drawing all the warm air out. Warm air rises faster than it can be replaced by other warm air. So an open fireplace probably isn't the best way to go in this type of weather, even just using it throughout the year. What you can do to solve that is they have wood stove inserts that can be put in. A wood stove that's slid into the opening, has a much smaller liner, has a tight fitting door. You put that wood in, it's almost like a furnace, like a kiln. Has a blower on it, so you're going to get the heat back out of it. It's got a glass door on it so you can see the fire. So it isn't the big crackle, pop, and everything else, but if you want something that's going to throw off more efficiency and more heat, that would be the way to go if we're going to be burning wood or a lot of wood. If we just use a fireplace occasionally, maybe that isn't a good investment. Maybe you want the open, but if you're constantly using the fireplace, you can reclaim a lot of that heat. The other option is what I have at my house right now. It's called a direct vent gas insert. And a direct vent gas insert is the same thing. It's a unit that's slid in, surround put on it, and it's got two linings. One liner brings the fresh air in for burning. The other exhausts the bad stuff out. And it works off of a remote, and it has a blower on it. So you can control all that stuff. It's pretty cool. And the nice thing is, like when Brandy gets up, my wife Brandy, you know that, if you watch this show, she will get up and go to the gym way early in the morning. She gets like 4 a.m. or something crazy. I'm still snoozing, all right? And she'll turn that insert on right when she gets up. She'll hit the button, then she'll go to the gym or what have you. And then when I come downstairs to grab some coffee when I get up, it's nice and warm. Give you a little tip. She actually gets back before I get up too. So anyway, by the time she gets back, she's got a nice area, warm area, because we have hardwood floors right there in that room, and it gets pretty chilly. So that's another great idea. So I think, gas wood insert if you want some more efficiency, less cold air. If you've got a wood-sided fireplace, that's a prefabricated fireplace. And a lot of people will complain, hey, that prefabricated fireplace feels like a lot of cold air comes down. It's because the unit is air-cooled. So there's several things you can do, change it out or what have you, or upgrade it to a more efficient unit, what have you. But that's definitely a way to go on those. Again, don't forget, we're starting to get to the end of the season. It's going to warm up or what have you. You want to have your chimney cleaned and inspected during the spring and summer to have it all nice and ready. Also get all that creosote deposits out of it for the summer because creosote is acidic. We don't want to leave a bunch of acidic things that can smell, things like that in the fireplace. So there's your cold air tips for the day. Fireplace Friday, Flues Brothers Chimney Service. We'll have a great weekend. Next week it's going to be a little warmer. I think Tuesday here in Kansas it's going to be 60. So have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday. Thanks.